Hey, we're back with another video. We're gonna hop right into it. You don't know nothing. Jordan Peterson destroys Smug college student. Oh, these titles are so ready to go. But let's get it. Let's go.
You called being transgender a sociological contagion and compared trans people to Satanists.
The question you asked me had absolutely nothing to do with what I said, as you well knew.
How do you
I can't take him seriously when he's angry. Your question had nothing to do with what I said, as you well know. Okay. Sorry, my guy.
respond to those who believe your comments have cultivated a climate of hostility against trans people?
You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't have any idea about what you're talking about, and your confidence far exceeds your competence.
I am friends with many transgender individuals.
This is a clip from a Q&A at Oxford University. When an Oxford student accuses Dr. Peterson of transphobia, he does not take that lightly, giving one of his most savage rebuttals ever seen. He was not taking any of that. Let's watch it.
Let's watch it.
Hello.
Hello. My question is in regards to a comment you made on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple years prior, where you called being transgender a sociological contagion and compared trans people to Satanists.
To
Satanists.
No, I don't think so.
You called being transgender equivalent to participating in satanic rituals in the 1980s. This is a quote.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
You called being transgender and you compared that to satanic rituals that occurred in daycares in the 1980s.
I see. So
Yeah.
that's very different than the proposition that you laid before me.
Right. You do have a history of intense anti-trans comments, so I wanted to question you on that.
The segment the student is purposefully misquoting can be found on the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 1933 with Jordan Peterson. The subject of transgenderism starts at the 1 hour and 9 minutes mark. The link for the YouTube interview is in the description.
In the United States, trans youth have the highest rates of suicide among any demographic. How do you respond to those who believe your comments have cultivated a climate of hostility against trans people and contributed to this alarming rise in suicide rates?
Okay, so first of all, I respond to them like I responded to you by pointing out the falsehood of their question. The question you asked me had absolutely nothing to do with what I said, as you well knew. And the moralizing element of your accusation that constituted the last half of your question is also equally ill formulated. You have
The audio on this is really fucking bad.
no idea what you're talking about. The idea that my comments had anything to do with the hypothetical rise in suicide rates among transgender people is preposterous. And there's also no evidence whatsoever that those suicide rates that you're describing are a consequence of any attitude whatsoever towards their hypothetically transgender
Lack
status.
of social acceptance, which is definitely cultivated by comments like...
It does. I mean, think about it. Like, the people who are less socially accepted in society. I'm not saying I just understand this argument. Like, the people who are less socially accepted in society are the people who are more likely to commit suicide, have more mental health issues. I actually somewhat do think that sociologically, how we are brought up in a society, and if there's a marginalized community, I think that leads to a lot of mental issues with marginalized communities. I think that mental health and socialization run hand in hand, and I don't just think that. That's probably a proven fact. I don't know beyond a reasonable doubt, but within that being said, it's interesting to see, like, because I can see it in the black community. There's an extensive rage amongst the black community when it comes to ourselves and when it comes to every other group of people outside of us, specifically the ones in America, all over the African diaspora. I noticed it when I was in Montreal. I noticed it, I've noticed it from some people in the islands. I've noticed it from some Africans who have been, not all, but some Africans who have been colonized specifically, and been marginalized through that colonization. And within that, I can understand the whole trans conversation where it's like these people are probably the least accepted amongst society as of right now. So of course the suicide rates can be high because of that that lack of social acceptance. But I don't know if that's Jordan Peterson even not saying that, or is saying that. But I get her point.
Doors that deny the existence of trans people.
What makes you think you know what you're talking about? I cannot understand for a moment.
Lack of social acceptance is a driving force behind trans youth committing suicide.
So she is saying this, and she's 1,000% right. How's Jordan Peterson, a psychologist, not knowing that? You know that. Social acceptance can lead to a lot of different mental health issues. Come on, Jordan Peterson. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? She's right. She's 100% right.
And I'm asking you to explain why you feel it's appropriate to deny the existence of transgender people.
I can't possibly imagine anybody sequencing a collection of questions more cliched, formulaic, and accusatory than the ones that you just managed. You don't have any idea about what you're talking about, and your confidence far exceeds your competence.
I am friends with many transgender individuals.
What are they clapping for? He hasn't rebutted anything. He hasn't rebutted anything. She's making a good fucking point. Like, literally. She's making actually a good point. And I'm not saying I'm for trans people or against trans people. I'm in the middle with this conversation because I definitely have a lot of questions. But marginalized communities are more likely to be reluctant to commit suicide. She didn't say anything wrong. I'm confused.
I also don't know who educated you at this fine university, but they're doing a damn dismal job.
Dr. Peterson, I think one of the things at Oxford we welcome all kind of questions, and I think I would appreciate if the substance of what she's asking.
There was no substance. You can't answer the substance of the question when you're asked a question with no substance.
Denying the existence of an entire community and comparing transgender people to participating in a sociological contagion.
They are participating in a sociological contagion, obviously. Why in the world do you think there's been an explosion in prevalence with regards to transgender identification among juvenile women? Why do you think that? Do you know that that's the pattern of social contagions for the last...
Among juvenile women? This is where the trans argument is interesting to me, right? They are saying that more people are coming out to be homosexual, trans. There's more people that are coming out of the works. Is it socialization? Or has it always been like that and it's been so in the shadows that people don't understand that it's surfacing the way it's surfacing? I don't know.
350 years? You know, it's always juvenile women. It was eating disorders. It was cutting. It was... The eating disorders were anorexia and bulimia. In Freud's time, it was hysteria.
So I take a lot of issue with you pretending to care about women as an avenue for perpetuating hate towards minority groups. You did this earlier in your conversation with the president, and you're doing it once more. But
you really are something.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Thank you, Arushi. We'll go to the next question. Anyone else? A lot of people. Would you like to choose someone this time?
Like an accusation of hate, particularly one that's formulated in that manner, that begins with the proposition that I was comparing transgender people to those who participated in satanic rituals, which is not at all what I said or meant on the Joe Rogan special, is not a question with substance, and that's for sure. It's not a question at all. It's a form of moralizing Pharisaism that's designed to reputation savage the target of the question in precisely the manner that female personalities characterized by antisocial bullying are particularly proficient at. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that question.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go watch and see what he actually said because I'm actually interested in what he said. But if he did say that, but you just hold on. But he just agreed with what the fuck? He just literally agreed with her. He said they are in a social contagion. And at the end, he said he never said that. He never said anything about satanic rituals. But he just agreed with her and said they are a social contagion. I don't know. Hey y'all, look, I like Jordan Peterson, but I think that one wasn't it. That one wasn't it. I don't know. I'm not even siding with transgender people, but like just the argument that she laid out was so concise. She was asking a question. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.